Whoa.
And luckily he doesn't have a whole lot of traction on this floor, but it doesn't really stop him from
Almost getting you?
moving pretty quickly.
Yeah, no, he's pretty fast, man. He's going for the rat, or he's going for your feet, man.
And sometimes he does. Sometimes he kind of ignores the rat and he'll go for my feet, and I just keep backing up until he focuses on the rat. He's actually, as far as that feeding response goes, he's a really strong feeding response. But
No, he just went. He just booked it.
Yeah, but when he's not hungry, you can just pick him up and just move him.
He's pretty docile.
He's really laid back. Snouted Cobras are known for being pretty laid back.
He's got a pretty chill personality.
A lot of people, venomous keepers, like Snouted Cobras because generally they are very laid back. Now that doesn't say all of them. When they're little, they have like little man syndrome. When they're little, they're mean as hell. And then they just hit the stage where they just suddenly don't care anymore.
Well, I mean, after you get to a certain size, you feel like, hey, you're the king of the jungle, and less things can go after you. Where
big enough that he's like, you're not going to eat me.
Yeah, you start to feel a little more comfortable and safe.
Yeah. But yeah, Snouteds are pretty sought after for that exact reason, because they'll get pretty docile as adults. And obviously, they get pretty big.
Yeah, how long do you think that guy is? He's probably...
He's around that 6-7 foot.
Yeah,
mark.
I was guessing probably about 6 feet.
I think the record is somewhere around 9. They're one of the largest true cobras. And a lot of them, when I first started keeping snouted cobras, they were called Egyptian snouted. And they were lumped in with Haji in the Egyptian, and then they got their own species, and now they're the snouted cobra. And a lot of them are banded. A lot of people, we have banded snouted cobras. But this is what we call a bushveld phase, and so he has no banding. But he has this really pretty blue color between his scales.
In between, yeah, you see those yeah.
And that was the funny thing, is when the guy brought him over, because it was another one of those, he didn't bite the owner, but it was another one of those, the owner got bit or something. And, was
and said, hey, I'm done with snakes.
And gave him to another friend of mine, and that guy brought him over, and he's like, oh, it's not banded. And my wife really likes the snouted cobras, and I told her, I said, well, he's not banded. And he pulled it out of the tub, and my wife took one look at it, and she's like, yeah, I want it. So
looks like he might be starting to maybe try to find a head and start eating, huh?
Find the head. So what they do is they flick their tongue, and they can tell the direction the hair is going with the tongue. So
and that's how he's easily
he can find the head from the butt just by the direction of the hair, which he might eat the butt anyway. I sit here and I tell you that they'll find the head, and he's going to eat it butt first. So
like that's what happens when you start filming.
Yeah, it is.
They decide. Now he might say, "Hey, I got a leg," and I don't really think that's going to work out.
Yeah, he may start over now.
But usually they like to eat from the head because it just goes down that much easier.
Yeah.
For them. There you go. You found the head.
Yeah, and it doesn't bother him a bit that we're standing right here.
No, I mean he does. He's focused on his prey right there. He doesn't care that we're chilling over here. No, I'm right behind him here. And he's just doing his thing here, chowing down. Now he is fast. We saw how fast he can move. So
yeah, he's quick when he wants to be.
If he suddenly decided he was going to give up on his food and do something else, he could. But you can see he's pretty focused on that rat. He's chowing down, man. He is chowing down.
They're actually not all that neurotoxic, even though they're rapid. I think only like 4% of their venom is neurotoxic, and they're pretty heavily cardiotoxic.
Really?
Yeah. So most people who get by them don't even have paralysis. Not to say that you couldn't. You could certainly.
It's just going to shut down your heart.
Yeah. And this is one of those snakes that, like I said, a lot of keepers like them because they're kind of docile. But then again, a lot of exotic keepers get bit by snouted cobras as well because they get so comfortable with them.
And they think they're so chill, and then they get complacent.
Look at the real Tarzan.
Did he get bit by one? Is that what he got bit by?
No. It wasn't the real Tarzan. It was the real Mowgli or whatever his name is.
Oh, I know him.
He got bit on the bicep.
Oh, he got bit. That's what he got bit by. Oh, okay. All right.
He said it wasn't a free handling bite, but you don't get bit on the bicep unless you've got that thing like around your neck or something.
I don't know. I don't know the story behind it. I have seen. I have seen pictures when he was in the hospital.
Yeah, but he was another one. It took a long time for them to get antivenom in for him. They didn't have enough, and he never had any paralysis.
Oh, okay.
Whereas my brother, when he got bit by the monocle cobra, within 15 minutes he was struggling to breathe.
Yeah, he's getting it down now.
Yeah.
You can see he's getting bigger there. Just watching your pet eat, huh, man?
Mm-hmm. I generally do. I let him just eat on the floor, and then I move him into his enclosure. And sometimes I'll just walk around him and keep feeding, but that's probably not a good idea.
Feeding the other snakes while he's on the floor. Uh-oh, man.
Yeah.
Just because you see something in one of my videos here doesn't mean you should emulate it. That's just going to say that as a caveat.
Yeah.
Every person that I do videos with knows what they're doing, and they also get to decide how many risks they want to take.
Yeah, exactly.
And that might not be the risk that you want to take, and that's okay and cool.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine to be overly. I mean, the safer the better. You know, I just kind of always a risk taker, but it's definitely not the safest way. There's a reason why I've had several bites. Flies are relentless.
They're on that rat too. He's like, I don't care if there's some flies. I'm going to just swallow it down with the fly.
Yeah.
I'll digest that too.
Extra nutrition.
Yeah. Look at him go. He's just swallowing that down. Yeah, it was funny when he came out there and he chased you.
Yeah.
Well, he's not really chasing you. He's chasing the food. I mean, that's what
food. Yeah,
it's food response.
The only problem is that you condition him to do that.
Yeah.
So that means like if I'm not here and someone were to open his enclosure, he would chase him out of there.
Yeah. So if you had somebody else trying to take, someone else trying to take a.
If I had somebody else had to take care of him, it's kind of a bad
habit to have.
Habit to have. Yeah.
Yeah.
You generally want him to stay in their enclosure, but for me, I enjoy it. But yeah, definitely most people shouldn't condition their animals to chase them, you know. But, yeah.
He says, what's that camera going on up there? Is that my next meal? What's that guy sitting behind there? Now getting him back in.
Getting him back in is just...
picking him up and... pulling him back into his cage.
Put them back in. Go on in. Can't get any more. One large rat is enough, bud.
There you go. There you go. He's back in.
Yep.
You're still alive.
Still alive.
It's a good sign. He's cool.